Now we will discuss about the derivatives of the pharyngeal arch. In the previous class, we have already discussed what is the pharyngeal arch, what is the pharyngeal cleft, what is the pharyngeal pouches, and what is the pharyngeal membrane. This pharyngeal arch, as we know, it is a core of the mesenchymal tissue. Mesenchymal tissue, it is the intra-embryonic mesoderm. It is a pluripotent capacity, so it is differentiated into the various elements. It forms the skeleton element, that is the cartilage, which may remain the cartilage, are changed into the bone, form the ligaments. Then it is the pharyngeal arch artery that connects the heart situated ventrally to the gut with the dorsal aorta situated dorsally to the gut. Then it has the muscles that is derived from the paraxial mesoderm, and it has the nerve. It is the post-traumatic and the pre-traumatic nerves. But in the human beings, only the first arch has the both nerve, that is the post-traumatic and the pre-traumatic, while the other arches, that is the second, third, fourth, sixth, has only the post-traumatic nerves. Now this nerve, we see, it supplies the muscles of this arch, and it supplies the dermis and the mucosa of this adjacent arch. Means it is a mixed nerve. It is the motor as well as the sensory. Now the derivatives of the first arch. First, it is the first arch. In the human beings, the first arch, it is known as the mandibular arch. It is the mandibular arch. And this arch form the two swelling or two process. It is the maxillary process that is situated cranially. We will see it in the diagram. Then caudal part, it is the mandibular process. So this mandibular arch has the two process. Maxillary process, it forms the part of the upper lip, jaw and the palate, while the mandibular process, it forms the mandible. Now the cartilage of the first arch, skeleton element, it is known as the Meckel's cartilage. It is frequently asked in the examination, what is the Meckel's cartilage? This Meckel's cartilage, it is the cartilage skeleton element of the first arch. This is the Meckel's cartilage. It is obliquely placed. It has the dorsal end situated higher position and the ventral end situated in the lower position. This dorsal end is present towards the developing ear, where the ear is formed, while the ventral end, it is towards the mandible. Now its dorsal end of this cartilage forms the malleus and the incus, bones of the middle ear. Now the ventral part of this cartilage, this is the ventral part. This ventral part is obliterated, degenerated with the formation of the mandibles. In this region, it is the formation of the mandible. And this cartilage does not participate in the formation of the mandible. Only it gives position to the mandible. The mandible is closely formed to this cartilage. This cartilage does not participate in the formation of the mandible. So this part, ventral part, disappear. But the ventral part of the sheath persists. The sheath, it is the pericardium layer. This pericardium sheath persists, it remains and forms two ligaments, two important ligaments. That is the anterior ligament of the malleus that connect the malleus with the spine of the sphenoid, and the second, it is the sphenomandibular ligament. This sphenomandibular ligament, one end is attached to the spine lingula of the mandible and the another end spine of the sphenoid, that is known as the sphenomandibular ligament. So in brief, this metals cartilage forms malleus, incus, anterior ligament of the malleus and the sphenomandibular ligament. These are the derivatives of this Meckel's cartilage that is frequently asked in the various examinations. What are the derivatives of the Meckel's cartilage? It is the malleus, incus and these two ligaments that are derived from the sheath perichondrium of this ligament. Now what are the bones that are formed from the first arch? One point should be clear, these bones are formed from the mesenchyme of the maxilla or the mesenchyme of the mandible. It is not formed from the cartilage, that is the Meckel's cartilage. This mesenchyme forms the module and the ossifier. Such type of ossification, such type of bones, it is the intermembranous bone. On the basis of the ossification, there are two types of bones. One is the intermembranous and the second is the intercartilaginous. The cartilaginous, it is formed by the cartilage to the bones, while the intermembranous bones, they are directly formed from the mesenchyme of the structures. Now, this mesenchyme of the maxilla, it forms maxilla, zygomatic bones, parts of the vomer and the ischiumous part of the temporal bone. So these are the intermembranous bone. While the mesenchyme of the mandible, it forms the lower jaw, it is the mandible. So these are the bones that are derived from the mesenchyme of the maxilla and the mandible, and these two processes are the parts of the first arch. And these skeleton elements we have discussed in the previous class that are derived from the neural crest cells. Neural crest cells. So these neural crest cells forms the skeleton of the face, skull. Now the muscles. What are the muscles that are derived from the first pharyngeal arch? It is also frequently asked. And these muscles are derived from paraxial mesoderm. This is the paraxial mesoderm. And if you specify which part of the paraxial mesoderm, it is the somatomeres. Unsegmented part, somatomeres, and the somites, that is the somatomeres. It is also known as the pre-occipital somites. They form the muscles of the first arch. And these are the muscles of the mastications. The four muscles of mastications: masseter, temporalis, medial pterygoid and the lateral pterygoid, along with anterior belly of the digestive, mylohyoid muscles, tensor belli palatini and tensor tympani. These muscles are derived from the first arch. So these muscles are supplied by the nerve of this arch. Now the nerves. As we discussed earlier, it is the only first arch in the human beings. It has the post-traumatic nerve and the pre-traumatic nerve. The post-traumatic nerve, it is the maxillary nerve and the mandibular nerve. This is the branch of the trigeminal. There is no ophthalmic. In this, there is no ophthalmic. So, it is the maxillary and the mandibular nerve of the trigeminal nerve, that is the post-traumatic nerve of the first arch. This maxillary nerve, it is the sensory. It supplies face. Senses supply to the face. Senses supply to the oral cavity. Then nasal cavity. While the mandibular nerve, this is the motor, and this supply all these muscles of the first arch. Now the pre-traumatic nerve. The pre-traumatic nerve, it is the chorda tympani nerve. Now this chorda tympani nerve, it is a branch of the facial nerve. And the facial nerve, it is the nerve of the second arch. But it once branch, that is the chorda tympani, it runs along the caudal border of the first arch, and it is the pre-traumatic nerve. And it carries the spatial sensation, taste sensation, from the anterior 2/3 of the tongue. Now there is a question, and the answer of this question is related on the basis of the embryology. For example, the anterior 2/3 of tongue has the dual nerve supply, general sensation and the spatial sensation. General sensation by the lingual nerve, that is the branch of the mandibular nerve, while the spatial sensation by the chorda tympani nerve. Why? Because the anterior 2/3 of the tongue is developed from the 3 swelling. These are the 2 lingual swelling, 2 lingual swelling, and one, that is the tuberculum impar. We will discuss in the development of the tongue. These 3 swellings, they are 2 numbers, that is the lingual swellings, and single, it is the tuberculum impar. And these 3 swellings are formed in relation to the first arch. फर्स्ट आर्च के रिलेशन में ये बनते हैं, इसीलिए that is why the entire 2/3 of the tongue is supplied by the 2 nerves, because this arch has the dual nerve. It is the post-traumatic and the pre-traumatic.